Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. אמן.
Karen, as we wait for Mark Teitelbaum to rejoin us, his power went out. Can you please sing another refrain of Shechianu?
Yes, I can. And let's just go to the Amen. Here we go. Wait, no, we'll do the whole thing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. אמן.
Good evening. Welcome to Temple Israel of Greater Miami annual meeting. My name is Mark Teitelbaum. I'm the current president of Temple Israel. I want to welcome you. It's great to see so many people in attendance. It's a pleasure to welcome you. Unfortunately, due to the current situation that we're in because of COVID situation, we're unable to be at our physical plant. However, we are fortunate to be together digitally, virtually, and I want to thank you so much for attending. It's a pleasure to have everybody here. We're going to start off this meeting with a tribute to Dr. Joan Bornstein. Dr. Joan Bornstein is someone who I always considered to be the matriarch of our congregation. She was an amazing woman. She was loved by so many of us. And as we know, she unfortunately passed away in April of this year. She will be missed, but she will never be forgotten. She will always be remembered by all of us. Rabbi Morrison has asked Norma Orovitz to say a few words, a tribute to Dr. Joan Bornstein. And when Norma is finished, Rabbi Morrison will speak. So Norma, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mark. Good evening, everyone, and a special welcome, of course, to Ben Giller and Joan's children and their families, John and Rochelle and Avi. We are so privileged that you could join us tonight. If there were a matriarch of historical reputation at Temple Israel of Greater Miami, we lost her when Dr. Joan Bornstein passed away on the first day of Passover. When Joan Bornstein came to Miami in 1952, she was the secular partner to Temple Israel's first cantor and education director, the late Jacob Bornstein. Together, Jack and Joan forged new experiential forms of Judaism for decades and for multiple generations of Temple Israel families. Joan served as religious school and music teacher, pre-Head Start innovator, Temple Israel trustee and president, and when the need arose, as our executive director. In her professional life, Joan served for years as president of the Easter Seal Society and worked always in the not-for-profit universe for the benefit of the least, the lost, the disadvantaged. Joan left to mourn her devoted husband, Ben Giller, who's on the screen with us, her children and their families, Jonathan and Rochelle and Avi, and an extended loving family. Following the passage of this current pandemic, there will be a community memorial service in salute to the incredible life so well lived by Joan Bornstein. May her memory continue to be a gift of love to Temple Israel and the community she served so very well. It is now my privilege to welcome on the bima virtually, although she may be there in person, Rabbi Amy Morrison. Rabbi?
Thank you so much, Norma, and I want to again welcome Joan's family for sure. I hope you received my notes in the mail as well as Ben. It is a privilege to have you guys here, and this absolutely is your extended congregation, so I hope that you'll join us for much more than our annual meeting. I wanted to start with a prayer. God of the universe, of people and of places, of hope and of joy, of challenge and of integrity, we thank you for this day that you have created. We've worked towards this day with all of our strength and devotion. How glad we are to have woken up on this day. How good it is to share with each other the many successes and new experiences that our congregation has celebrated this past year as one community. May this evening's annual meeting and Shabbat service with board installation shed a light on all this congregation does for Judaism, for one another, and to serve and to have a better connection with God. Amen. I wanted to take a few moments to thank and to mention a lot of great things that have happened this year. And I'll give you a spoiler alert. We will hear about the high holidays. So if you were thinking I'd do it right at the beginning and you could sign off and get pizza, that's not the case. So I wanted to begin. We have this evening installation for the new board, but it took a lot to get to the new board, the new slate. That's if the slate passes, sorry. There's no, so I have a few blessings that I'd like to bring up and bring to the congregation. And if someone can watch the waiting room, there's a few people waiting to come in. So this is a blessing for our outgoing board members. So I see many of you on the screen, and this is for you. Dear God, thank you for shining a light on the extraordinary love, commitment, creativity, and devotion that these outgoing Board of Trustees members have lovingly given to our congregation through their leadership. Grant each of them an awareness of the insurmountable gratitude felt by their fellow congregants and staff for tireless hours and unwavering support that they have given to Temple Israel of Greater Miami over the past years. We pray that as they transition out of these positions of synagogue leadership, that they'll continue to bless our congregation with their knowledge, experiences, and lessons learned from their time as our madrachim, our holy leaders. We thank you for your service on our board, and we thank you for your service to our congregation. I'm speaking specifically of Carla Neufeld and Roberta Mandel, who will be moving on from the board, and we thank them for what they have served us with. I then want to have it all written out, which is very unlike me. The Talmud says, Kador kain hanasi, ka'anasi kain kador. As the generation, so is the leader. And as the leader, so is the generation. This is a note for the service that Julia Zayas put in at our congregation. Thank you for being the reader and interpreter for the pulse of the congregation and lovingly moving us forward to a place of stronger health and commitment and authenticity. Through your leadership and presidency, your integrity set the tone for our congregation to safely and enthusiastically transition into our future. For Scott and myself, Julia, we would not be here if it wasn't for your commitment to your presidency and to this congregation, and we both thank you on a personal note for mentoring us as we lead this congregation towards our centennial. We also have gratitude for Mark Teitelbaum. In the old days, proverbially, a boy would begin his bar mitzvah speech with the words, "Today I am a man." But what does that mean to be a Jewish man? The answer can be summed up with the Yiddish word mensch, a decent human being. We learned that the world was created unfinished and incomplete and flawed. God created humans to be partners in the completion of this world. Mark, you were called upon to step up and take on an unexpected leadership role as president, and you rose and surpassed for the occasion. This act, something both simple and immensely complex, illustrates the quality that all of us know describes you perfectly. You are a mensch, Mark Teitelbaum. You are caring, and you are an ethical human being who wants the best for our congregation, for each individual, and for this world. Thank you for serving as our president the past few months and for doing so with a smile, an open mind, and a huge heart. We now look towards the new board that will, please God, be coming on. But before that, I would like to offer a prayer on behalf of Nora Weinrich, Rachel Fabricant, and the entire nominating committee who worked tirelessly to put together a slate that is incredible, a slate that they did not have to beg people to be a part of, something that all of us should be very proud that these individuals want to be supporting us in our leadership. I say this prayer on your behalf. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, la'asok b'tzorchei tzibor. We praise you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has commanded us to attend to the needs of our community. Thank you both and for your committee for putting in the time, the thought, and the meaningful process needed to select those amongst us who would represent our congregation moving forward. And a blessing now for those who hopefully will be coming in with this slate. Let's see. Hold on. No, we're going to go into a message of togetherness. You have to log in for services to get the one for the new board. So this is a prayer called Yad B'Yad, which means hand in hand. Even when we are remote, at a distance, not physically together, let us imagine that we are all on this screen holding hands. Let us take this moment to grab the hands of our family members, spouses and children, siblings and elders. Let us grab hands with our friends and our fellow congregants, our clergy and our staff. Let us grab hands with our Jewish community, the world at large, and those who came before us and those who will come after us. And let us all grab hands, Temple Israel, as we envision and take hold of the many opportunities, experiences, and potentialities that face us as we move forward as one congregational family towards our centennial and years of leadership and future possibility. And let us all say, Amen. It is something that is so important to Karen and myself as your clergy team to make sure that our transparency is known throughout both of our roles at the synagogue. And so we found it very important to bring to you the information that we have on the high holidays. And we wanted to do so in a way that brought the most people together so the message got to the most number of people at the same time. I'm not happy to share that we will not be physically together for the high holidays, but I'm truly excited about what we are going to be able to share between us. Your clergy team, staff, the Board of Trustees have all come to the understanding that for the sake of safety and health, that we will need to be still remote for our high holiday experience this year. But in that decision, Karen and I I don't want to say it. Karen and I are super excited. It's not the most eloquent way to put it, at the opportunities that we have to reimagine what our high holidays will look like. We are not looking to depart from the traditional. We are so connected to what Temple Israel has built before our time here and with our time so far together. But there are so many opportunities that we've witnessed virtually through our virtual shivas, some of our funerals, the idea that when we come together on the screen, there's actually this, this connectivity that I could have never guessed would happen through a screen. And so we are working together with someone to produce our high holidays so that we do not have technical difficulties. We are not trained to do any of that, and we will turn that piece over so that Karen and I can maintain and try to build some strength in connecting with you through the screens. Over the next month, in about a month, you'll receive a program packet that will begin starting with Rosh Chodesh Elul, the first night of Elul. Elul is a month that is preparation for the high holidays, and we have a robust program set out from Rosh Chodesh, that first night, all the way through Simchat Torah, all of the high holidays. There will be remote opportunities for learning of music and of text, of cooking, of liturgy. There'll be ideas looking at the choreography of prayer, so that all of us have so much more when we do return to the sanctuary, please God, next year, such a more robust understanding of what the high holidays can be and how meaningful they can take us on this journey to our transformation. We hope we also will be able to reach more people in more ways. We have the greater opportunity to incorporate all of you and all of you not on the screen in doing readings, in reading Torah, in blowing shofar. For many people, standing in front of a congregation is not an option because it's so overwhelming and scary. We've been talking to many kids in our youth community and their parents about how excited they are to be able to sit in their homes and participate in the service in a way they never would feel comfortable doing so in front of our whole congregation. We're looking at somewhat shorter services with more options. We will look at new customs and new traditions. How does one do tashlich on a screen? How do you read Torah in your homes while we look at the Torah in the sanctuary? And then for a few highlights, one of which our adult B'nai Mitzvah class will be called to their adulthood on Rosh Hashanah morning as they become Bar and Bat Mitzvah, and they read Bereshit, the Torah portion for Rosh Hashanah, in front of our entire congregation. Karen and I look forward to the incredible potential and connection and intimacy that we believe will absolutely come from this year's high holidays being virtual. We wanted to make this decision very ahead of time. Most of our other synagogues have not made this decision, but we know that we wanted to be proactive and not reactive. We already began planning for this about a month ago, and Karen and I meet weekly to get ourselves ready for the high holidays. We know that all of you on these screens will be joining us, and we hope that you will spread the word that we are here and we have not gone anywhere. We have not even had a minute gap since our synagogue became digital. So we hope that as we move into this next year of the Jewish calendar, that we will do so only with the idea that for a little bit longer we'll be on the screen, and please God, we'll come together to celebrate the birthday of the Torah, Simchat Torah, please God, together in our sanctuary. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Rabbi, for those inspirational words. I want to take a moment, this opportunity to again thank those board members that are stepping down. If we could please put the slide up of the members that are getting off the board. I think it's another slide after this, after Joan Bornstein. The next slide, please. The one previous to that one. Thank you so much. So I did want to take this opportunity to thank these three individuals who are going to be off the board, whose terms are up. We want to thank you for your service and the dedication to the synagogue and to the temple. I know that you spent a lot of time, and we really appreciate you doing that. If you are a congregant and you have not had the opportunity to serve on the board, I would encourage you to please do so if you're asked in the future. It is an extremely rewarding experience, and you really interact with very interesting people, and please consider doing that moving forward. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Julia Zayas, who served as our president until this past February, at which time she unfortunately stepped down and I stepped in as the interim president. Julia worked extremely hard during her term as president. She had numerous accomplishments, but the three that really jump out at me are that she onboarded three key individuals in our organization, one being an accountant, the second being our executive director, and the third, our rabbi. And those are three really key positions in our synagogue. And I can't tell you how many hours Julia spent setting up meetings, organizing interviews, and doing all the things that it takes to go ahead and get three key individuals, three really good individuals that we have, excellent individuals that we have on our staff. We're fortunate to have them, and Julia coordinated that. So Julia, I really want to thank you on behalf of the congregation, and I can tell you if we were in Wolfson right now, there'd be a round of applause to show you how much we appreciate you and everything you've done for Temple Israel. I also want to thank Gary Brown, who served as the head of our Social Justice Committee for the last couple of years. He headed up our Tikkun Olam efforts in the community for the last couple of years, and he had numerous accomplishments as well. So our community is so much better as a result of his efforts, and Gary, we really thank you, appreciate you. I spoke to Gary this week. He said is willing to remain a member of the committee. And Gary, again, if we were in Wolfson, we would also be having a round of applause in your honor as well. Rabbi, this answers your question. The election results for the new Board of Trustees have been tabulated. We received 140 ballots. All were approving. It was unanimous approval of the new board. So the new board is approved. So you can go ahead and say your prayers when we're in the service for the installation of the new board. I really want to welcome the new board. If we could put the next slide up of the new board members. Yes, thank you so much. So the new board members, the names that you see on the screen are either individuals who are new to the board or individuals who are currently on the board and are taking a different position than what they previously had. The screen is not all of the board members, but these are new individuals that are on the board. I want to congratulate the new board members. You're going to work really hard, but it is an amazing experience. And all of you have a really distinct skill set that will enable us to make Temple Israel even better than what it is today. Finally, I want to let you know that Temple Israel is in good financial position. We're ending the year with money in the bank. So we want to really let you know that. That's good news. However, please return your membership forms. We need you, and we need you to pay your dues as well, because we rely on that money, that revenue to pay our bills as well. So thank you again. Lastly, I want to go ahead and thank everybody for being so kind and helpful to me over these last couple of months, being so supportive of me. I never thought I would be president. God works in strange ways. It's the one position I really did not want, but it's just interesting, but it has been a great experience. I've interacted with so many interesting congregants, amazing congregants and clergy, and it has really, I think, been a very good positive experience for me. And when I look back on this experience, I will have very fond memories. So I want to thank everybody, the congregation, clergy, everybody for being so supportive of me. And with that, I will move this meeting on to our next president, Jaclyn Greenberg. So Jackie.
Thank you so much for your words. I, of course, agree with your thoughts about everybody who has served, and I'm really excited about those who will be serving with me next year. When Rabbi Morrison first joined Temple Israel, one of her first themes was "Come as you are." At that time, she was expressing an open arms approach to members and guests to join in our temple's rituals, no matter how we look, how we observe Shabbat, or how we think and vote, or to whom we love. That call was to be present. Tonight, we are present. We have "Come as you are," whether in Shabbat clothes or t-shirts via the internet. What matters is our connection to Temple Israel and to each other as co-congregants, a Temple Israel family to worship together. Over these next few months, we will continue to pray and learn together in our religious home in the cloud. I ask that we come as we are, knowing that our connection with each other can continue to stay strong through prayer, song, and celebration. We appreciate you all attending the annual congregational meeting. Please join us at 7:30 for the Shabbat services, which you can find on YouTube, in the Temple Israel email, or on our website, templeisrael.net. The installation of the office, the Board of Trustees for next year, and the presentation of the Or Zarua Award are special additions to tonight's services, and we hope you join us in half an hour. Good night.